Now we're going to take the decode to a deeper level, and we're going to go through my prep. But I just released one called The Anatomy of a Decode, but I actually take that song and start looking at dates, which is pretty fascinating. And okay, here's one. I said we have our date. It's 10:30. How many times have I said that? We have our date. Well, I never said it like that, but like all my chips are in, all chips in the middle of the table or something like that. Um, I'll tell you about 10:30. That's the Donnie Darko date. That's when Donnie, that's the right eye wound in the movie Donnie Darko. We've forgotten all about that, haven't we? And if we look to that double midpoint on when Sirius the Dog Star rose, and it was a double midpoint of two solar eclipses and two lunar eclipses, the previous and future of both total solars, total lunars, they hit on the same day, and it was the day Sirius the Dog Star rose. It's the perfect 444, which is the 12th progression of 30. What is? If I go 444. Yeah, 12 is a number for the church, but the 12th prime number is 37. So 37 is another way to say the church. Or we know 12 times 12 is 144, but 12 times 37, which is another way to say 12, is 444. Remember, I played for Teamsters 444. We know my first address was 404, the number of verses in the book of Revelation. I've shown you all that. So, or the amount of verses in Daniel is 357. Yes, that's the name of a gun, isn't it? And when you add 357 plus 404, in other words, adding the amount of verses in Daniel and Revelation, you get the sum of 761. Well, I was born on 7/6 in 1961. Yeah. So I seem to have been born to be about these end times. And I want you to look percent of a common year 12164. 121 is Antichrist, 216 is 6 times 6 times 6 Antichrist. James Bond's card tag was 216. I showed y'all in a video today on Telling Truth 2 how my odometer was all over this stuff. So do we have our date? Is it the Donnie Darko day? Because it's that even 444, or in other words, the church, or 144,000, given in a different way of 444. That's how many days it is to that fateful day, to 10:30. And you're like, well, that's 2 days after a full moon, not 2 days before. Trump rises up through a full moon. The Antichrist will rise up. That's what the movie Tenet showed us, didn't it? It showed us moving backwards and forwards through time. So then he's going to go backwards. He's going to go back 2 days and go back through that full moon because he is the time traveler. When we run it from my divorce date on Groundhog Day, it's double murder code 38 and 83 with 176 in the months, but look at the years and months and days. 14828. You know how many days old he is right now? Begins with 28. He's in the 28,000s. 14828, but it's 5383 or 383 murder code in the days from that divorce to that 1030 date. So that's kind of big. It's a tell. You look at Trump's age, 28262 on that day. How many weeks? 4, 0, 37. You got that perfect number 40, which is a very biblical number, along with that number 37 we were just talking about. 88 in the hours. It's a big deal. And the last one, you know how many days old I'll be? 761. Remember, 761 is 404 plus 357, the amount of verses combined in Daniel and Revelation, along with the number 22, which is the Groundhog Day date, along or with District 22, which was on the bus when the Joker in the movie The Dark Knight, which is about the darkened right eye, Porsche 911, Porsche 718. The movie was released on 718. Dark Knight Rises came out on 720, or on the third day, 2 days later. Both on leap years, 2008 and then 2012. So I will be 22761. That's extremely crazy. Because if he goes down that day, now if you reverse it going back the other way, it's Day of the Dead, which begins pretty much on 10:30 and runs through November 1st, which is the Celtic New Year. And in whatever that's called, let's go over it again, I Pet Goat. In I Pet Goat, it shows him right dead in the middle. Right dead in the middle. I'm not logged in because I'm on my other, but it shows right dead in the middle is Day of the Dead. Where's she at? Right there. Right there. Day of the Dead, and you see that it's a New Year's blower because it's the Celtic New Year and Day of the Dead all combined. And on I Pet Goat's side, it was at the 343 mark, which was dead in the middle of 727. 343 is 7 times 7 times 7. Cleansing. So if we come over and we were to say Day of the Dead is a 3-day event, October 30th through November 1st. Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, which she did say in the movie Wednesday, or in the series. She looked at it and said, Dia de los Muertos. I can't remember what all was going on, so let's go to my site, search it, see if we can find the video and rewatch it. Let's just key in Wednesday. I Pet Goat 2 and Wednesday TV series tell us it's May 5th. Book of Revelation is open in real time. I'm hilarious. Because it was on a Wednesday on May 5th, and it was all about that flower full moon. But what I want to find is where she says Dia de los Muertos. So I might need, there she is. And see, it was the Mayflower. And so I'm going to knock off the sound. And I want to speed my video up to super fast so we can just get to it real quick. So it was the flower full moon. And Wednesday said there was the Mayflower. See the Mayflower. And she goes, Dia de los Muertos. So we need to look from the flower full moon to October 30th. See if it gives us, ooh. Those are my all of my favorite numbers added together equal 168. Remember, it was 2, 24, 27, 38, 42, 45. 2 plus 24 plus 27 plus 38 plus 42 plus 45. Childhood numbers adds up to 178. It's 5 months, 25 days, 25 weeks, 3 days, 15379. Oh boy. 4877. Now see, it's 176 on the full moon. And then it's 178. This is a big deal. I can't really convey it properly, but I'm telling you, this is a big deal. And she says Dia de los Muertos. And I don't know.
This TV show Wednesday, this Pilgrim's World theme, it's in the backdrop. I mean, it's not.
I just love the sound of my own voice. No, I actually hate it. And she's going to say it right.
Wednesday, every title. Whoa, to the idle shepherd. Come on, we got to put this together, right?
Yeah, we do.
Says,
more seating for a year-long Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. So let's go look and see. That would be on a Monday. Saturday's the 28th. The 30th is on a Monday. He would rise on Wednesday, which is the name or the Day of the Dead when she's saying that. So this day he rises, that's his crowning, basically. And that's when the book of Revelation is spiritually like opened. Even though when he gets that right eye wound, we will know it, that it's opened. We know Jesus is opening the seals, or has opened the seals, and we are now beginning to live in real time in the book of Revelation, which is why Bill Maher's show is called Real Time with Bill Maher, because you'll be living in the book of Revelation in real time. So yeah, this is all a big deal. Now we're going to look at other dates because I've been doing all kind of stuff. But when I said we have our date 10/30 yesterday at 1:30 p.m., well, did we? Or was that just wishful thinking? All right, so more on October 30th. Okay, you mean there's more? Oof. Let's punch them. 1, 2, 3. I need to just make this its own video and make it December 30th, and then I'll go back and do the rest of my prep. So if we run it from the Donnie Darko, I'm sorry, from the Spectre date, which is Day of the Dead, the movie opens out James Bond, Spectre, Day of the Dead. He's celebrating Day of the Dead. James Bond opening of Spectre, Day of the Dead. Whoops. And we need to Day of the Dead Spectre celebration. Oh, that's Facebook. We don't want that. So I'm just going to go to YouTube, make this easy on the brain. Spectre, Day of the Dead opening. And so this is the one I've used most oftentimes. And it opens up with 2 big bass drum hits. I don't think y'all could hear that. I think I turned the volume nice and low. But it hits with 2 big bass drums. And it says, "The dead are alive." So if he goes down on the 30th, and he's alive November 1st, but the Day of the Dead celebration, it said, was 31st to November 2nd. And so we see, and then Bond will be a skeleton. He is in a skeleton outfit on the Day of the Dead. And this man is going to walk right by him. And Bond is actually on the other side of that guy. Bond's with this woman here, and Bond is through this guy's head. So this guy's going to walk, and you're going to see Bond, and he's dead. He's a skeleton. So he's dead, isn't he? The dead are alive. This is how it opens up. And that's what it says at the opening. So Spectre, release date of 11/9 to this 10/30 date, you're not going to believe it. 4007, 4007 days. And or 10 years, 11 months, 21 days, 121 is coded. Or 131 months and 21 days, 121 is coded again, along with the number 13. 4007, FOR 007, the seventh king of Mystery Babylon. That's fascinating. And that's why I really started to think we have our date. Spectre had other release dates. And on 11/30, it says 11 years, 7 days. 11/7 is coded. So it's 40/24 days there. It is 83/19 days from Donnie Darko's date. So you got murder code, and also 22 years, 9 months, 11 days. 9/11 is heavily coded there. 11/88 in the weeks with 3 days. So you got 88 with 83 fused together, coded. 7/18 is the seconds. 761 follows the 7/18. So it's 7/18, 761. And then 600. So it's 718,761,600 seconds. So you have 7/18 for Porsche 11 for 7/18, comma 761. 761 is the amount of verses combined, Daniel and Revelation. They really want us to think that he's going down on December 30th. If we run Donnie Darko's release date worldwide, 8039 or 83 murder code again. Look at the weeks. 148 and 3 days. 148 is Donald J. Trump and simple gematria fused with the 83. 1148 weeks and 3 days. That's 11483. This is mind-boggling. I think we have our date. I started looking at Casino Royale to No Time to Die, which is the beginning of Daniel Craig to the end of Daniel Craig. And it's 777 code. Let's look at all this. Since this is James Bond, we might as well continue it with our 1030 study. So Spectre, No Time to Die, and Casino Royale to No Time to Die. So Spectre is basically him dying, and No Time to Die is kind of like, well, it's, you know, it's also his death, but it's also saying it's no time to die. It's like his rising. It came out on 88. And so we're looking at 11/6, Spectre release date. Was it 11/6 or 11? I'm getting all confused. Let's just do this real quick. Let me look at something real quick. Spectre, Wikipedia. I might have put the wrong date in there. Let me pause. Here's a Spectre film. Sorry. It does say November 6th. What is November 9th? Oh, that's Skyfall's release date. Now look at Spectre. 148 minutes, 148. Donald J. Trump and the Simple Gematria. Look how much at the box office. 8807. Here's your 88 code. So it's October 26th. And see, Skyfall also came out on October 26th. But then it says November 6th. So I had the right instrument in there, 11.6 to 10.23. So I started looking at 10.23. Just another date I'm looking at. And we do get the 11.17. 7 years, 11 months, 17 days. So we have to look at that. Don't we? Yep. We got to look at October 23rd. Big time. Now, if we run Spectre to our 1030 date, nothing spectacular. We were on No Time to Die to our 1030 date. 2 years, 22 days, or 222 coded, which is always a big code. It's Adam and Eve code is what it is. I want you to look at 24 months, 22 days. That's 2422. 2422 is the amount of days between both total solar eclipses that make the X across America. Casino Royale to No Time to Die is 777 and October 21st. Let's click it and see why. 11/17/2006 is when Casino Royale came out. If you run it to the No Time to Die date, there's that 178 again, 178 months in 21 days. It is exactly 777 weeks from Casino Royale to No Time to Die's 2 release dates. What are the chances of that? I don't even know what to tell you. Moving on. Adam coded. Remember Adam A, D, A, M, or 14113 is coded when you go from the beginning of Casino Royale and run that to 9/30/2021, which is one of the No Time to Die's premieres or release dates. September 30th. You get 14 years, 10 months, 13 days, or 14113 code. Remember, the Antichrist is the Black Adam. There's your 178 again, along with 13 days. So it's 178 with a 13. I'm telling you that 178 is a real deal. Those numbers were my favorite numbers for a reason. We know that, I mean, from my high school days, those were my numbers. 2, 24, 27, 38, 42, 45. They add to 178. They multiply to this 9/30 date. They multiply to 9307872. 2 times 24 times 27 times 38 times 42 times 45. 9307872. Remember, 3078 is that person's number divided by 37 evenly. Whose number has the 138, the 88, and the 86? She was born 3 times 19 times 1998. Whoops. I put the decimals in there. 3 times 19 times 1998. She's got the 138 for Donald Trump in simple gematria. She's got the 88 for Trump in simple gematria and the 86ing of him all in her numbers. She was born at 8:08 a.m., but I cannot prove that, but I can show you these numbers, can I? You can divide it by 37, and she is the 3078 or 378. So 3078 coded, and that is what is in that 2 times 24 times 27 times 38 times 9, 3078, 72. It's fascinating. October 24th coded. Well, that's one of the Casino Royale release dates to the October 8th or 88 Spectre release date. 777 weeks, 3 days, 178.24. $718 with 888 in the seconds. But what did I say I was looking for there? October 24th is coded. Why? Oh, it says 14 years, 10 months, 24 days. So that is an October 24th code, so to speak. They're telling us to look at October 21st to October 24th, which is now. At least that's what my brain came up with. I like that October 30th date, though. What do y'all think? Oppenheimer and Barbie. That was a big weekend when they opened those two movies together and they called it Oppen Barbie or whatever. When we run that to this October 26th, 2 days before the full moon date, because that was July 21st when those two came out. You run it to 2 days before the full moon, which is also a high watch day for us. You look at the seconds, 83808. That's 83 and 38 murder codes all over the place. Remember, Donnie Darko came out October 26th. Remember that Skyfall came out October 26th. The Donnie Darko Halloween Festival. Donnie Darko Halloween Festival, October 26th to October 30th. So if I click images, will it give us that sign? Yep, October 26th to October 30th. That's a big deal. That October 26th all the way through the 30th. See, with Tenet, he's going backwards and forwards through time, so it could easily be the 26th or the 30th, couldn't it? Because that's what the movie Tenet showed us, moving backwards. Right now, I would lean, if I were to say, what is in first place, I want to say October 30th. Dia de los Muertos festival dates. This is November 1st to November 2nd. How many days is it celebrated? I'm going to put down October 30th. I thought it was the 30th through the 1st that I've seen before, but maybe it's October 31st through the 2nd. Day of the Dead, November 1st, November 2nd. Here it says right here, altars are traditionally built on October 30th and 31st. That's what I was thinking of, and are taken down November 2nd. So really it's October 30th all the way through November 2nd. This is big. This is so big. This is gigantic, big. I don't even know how to tell you how big this is. This is just so big what we're discovering. It's so big. Because on the 26th, that's 97 days from that Oppenheimer, and the 97th verse is Jesus opening the seal of Revelation. The 98th verse is the white horse verse, which jumps to the 27th. Hey, it's 10:26, y'all, when I glance down. Yikes. Trump turning 7777 and or 777. I'm gonna save that for the next one. All right, love y'all. Part 2 of the prep coming.